Hello and welcome back to another video brought to you by Dorkdom Gaming. Today we are going to do an unboxing of the Warhammer Quest Silver Tower expansion pack. And we're going to do a close look at all 4 characters you get in the box. Most importantly though, we are actually going to do a building tutorial of the Slaughterpriest. Now my goal in this video is to show you how to remove mold lines, how to clip parts, also how to customize this model to fit my theme. Now my theme is very much different. It's actually Christmas. I enjoy putting little Christmas hats on top of everyone, along with removing the actual weapon that the model carries and replace it with something Christmas oriented. So I'm actually going to replace it with a candy cane, and I'm going to show you how to actually remove it. But without further ado, let's actually begin. Alright, in order to open up this package, we need our handy dandy little knife. So of course you want to be careful when you do this. Little score on the side of the package. Open this bad boy up. Here we go. Awesome. Pull it out, and let's pull everything all at once. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. All the information. All right. Anything else in there? Nope. We are all clear. Let's put that to the side. In this packet, we actually get all 4 characters and how to build them. And inside each one of these flaps, it kind of gives you directions on, step by step, step 1, plug the 2 chest plates together and how to plug it in. And you definitely want to make sure you have all your building supplies with you. Now, a lot of people use this scraper tool. Now, I find myself just using my knife, and I'll show you exactly how I use it. And of course, they also say to bring your plastic glue. Now, I have the metal tip. Now, sometimes, some of you guys probably already know, the metal tip gets clogged. So you also need a lighter just to actually warm up the metal enough to where the glue inside melts so that you can actually have a nice flow. Now, of course, you do need your clippers, and I'm currently using the Citadel clippers, and they actually have been working quite well. They clip very nicely. And of course, when you're building and customizing models, you can never have enough green stuff, so we'll keep that for the side for later. Now, there's a big tip with building models. Now, I never like to use plastic glue to actually glue the model to the base. I like to use super glue. And the reason for that is I want something for my brother to be able to paint the model. And so I'll glue it to just a basic base like this. But later on, I'm actually going to customize the base with Christmas presents and snow and such forth, just to make the model look really, really cool. So super glue is very easy to pop off. But if you use plastic glue, you're actually melting the plastic to the model, which makes more of a permanent bond. With that said, as you keep going through the packet, it gives you tips and tricks with each individual model. Everything from the Stormcast to the dwarf here, all the way to even the Zeech Sorcerer Lord, and of course the Slaughterpriest, which is what we're going to focus on. Now, also Games Workshop gives you the colors in which they painted this model, which is really awesome. They used to never do this, and it's really helpful to know exactly what paints you need to buy in order to accomplish the same exact look. Alright, so this actually brings us to the kit itself. And inside this kit actually includes 4 individual models. The first kit model, actually you see right here, is the Sorcerer Lord. The next one, of course, is the Dwarf. And the last one is the Stormcast Eternal. And the Stormcast looks so cool. Actually, I can't wait to do a video on this one. But the one we're actually going to focus on is actually the Slaughterpriest. And this Slaughterpriest, I mean, look at this bad boy. I mean, he looks so cool. And I think after you take the gruesome looking model and add the Christmas theme to him, he's going to really pop and shine. And later on, I'll actually show you a video of how I'm going to actually customize his base with Christmas presents and see what you think. Now, with this, you'll notice that Games Workshop does an incredible job labeling the model. Everything from 2, 3, 1, 6. And with that said, you'll also notice the directions that Games Workshop gives you. They tell you, it says, take piece 1 and piece 2 and cut them. So with that said, we literally need to find pieces 1 and 2. So you see 1 right there. So with this said, we need to grab our clippers, and you'll notice that with this, you'll want to get your clippers close to as close as possible to the actual plastic piece here. Now you'll notice the actual clippers have a flat part here and the kind of a dip and rigid part here. So what you want to do is you want to put the flat part against the actual model itself as close as you can. Maybe push a little bit of pressure against it and squeeze. And that's it. And we'll do it again down here. Now here's kind of weird. So I'm clipping, but I'm not fully clipping. So then you try, okay, let me try the other direction. And that feels so much more comfortable. So right there, you can't really see it too well. I'll try to bend my hand. And you just want to clip. And again, so keep moving your hand forward, clip again. And you want to take your time. Nothing is worse than actually clipping, part of the model off, and then you're stuck there trying to re-glue it or maybe green stuff it, or you just say forget it, it's too much. But we want to make sure we keep the entire model. So we'll clip here again. Boom, we got there. And then we'll clip up here. All right, bad angle. Let's go back up here. Get as close as possible, and boom. Then of course comes right out. So now the next step, well, let's look. That's what was that? Number 1. So we need 1 and 2. So let's go back. Let's find number 2. And here we are, number 2 is right there. So again, what we'll do is we will rest our flat part to the actual model. Clip, clip, keep clipping, boom, boom. Let's go nice and quick, boom, boom. All right, now here we go. Let's put that to the side. Now, you actually have the model itself, and I'll try to get close for you. Now, on here, you'll see that where you clipped right here, you have like a little plastic piece that's sticking out. Now, your goal is to remove that and make it as smooth as possible. Now, I know it's kind of tough to see. I'll try to focus on for you. And what you want to do now is you want to take your little knife you have here. And I always take my knife and I move it away from my hand. That way it doesn't actually hit me. And I'll just do nice, soft, slow motions. And I'll keep doing this on every ridge that was caused by clipping the actual model itself. And as you keep going, it's going to become smoother and smoother. Now, you don't want to go too hard, or you'll actually start digging into the model itself. When you come to ridges, you need to kind of dig and scoop. But you want to be soft as you possibly can. I mean, so soft where you can do it on your own finger, and you're not going to hurt yourself, right? And you want to do that nice and soft and slow. And I'm going to keep going like this until I completely remove any type of imperfection right here. Sometimes I even use my fingernail just to feel it, and I'll feel it with my hand. I'm like, okay, I still feel a little bit. Keep going, just a little bit more. It's looking much better already. All right, there we go. So that's looking much better. But then as you go through the model, you might actually see mold lines. So there's like a little mold line here, right here. Try to get nice and close for you. There's like a little mold line here, right? And I don't like that. So I want to actually smooth that out. So you just take your little knife and you go real soft and smooth. There we go. Got rid of the mold line. And we'll continue to do this process until both sides of both models, both pieces, are completely smooth in the way they're supposed to look. Alright, so I just finished cleaning up this entire piece and making sure that there's no mold lines or anything actually on the piece itself. Now the next goal is to actually put the model together, exactly the way it's supposed to be, which, as you can see, it's supposed to fit exactly like this. And we're supposed to glue it. Now, you really want to focus on where to glue it. You don't want to glue it where there's actually no part touching. You only want to glue it where the actual model's touching. Now, Games Workshop does a good job and actually shows you with the yellow here where to actually glue the model. So again, we're going to take our plastic glue and we're going to first find out exactly, just to confirm, the way the model's supposed to be put together. There we go. And we want to see here that, okay, it basically stops right at that shoulder, or, below the armpit, I guess you can say. And that's where we're going to start the glue. We're going to glue all the way down, and then we're going to go on this side, and we're going to do the same thing, right? And the part of the model actually touches right here in the corner. We can dab one really tiny piece right there, just to give it a little bit more, secure. So we're just going to take it off, and we're just going to take our glue, and we're just going to dab a little bit, very little. We don't need a lot to get in there. It's just enough to get it going. And we'll just do a little bit here, just a little bit, very little. You don't want it to come through. And then, like I said, just like one dab here, All right, so there we go. And we want to do it kind of quickly. And you want to come back here, and you just want to hold it. You want to hold it nice and tight, and you just want to keep it there, just for a couple seconds. And then once that's settled, just keep on moving. And so what we're going to do is we're going to keep going through the rest of the model. And I'm going to keep on trimming up, clipping out each individual piece, trimming it up, and then I'm going to glue it together following the step-by-step directions. Alright, now that this piece is fully glued together, you're going to notice on the side of the piece, you're going to have a little bit of glue that might be sticking out. And as this model dries, it's going to create maybe the smallest bit of a bubble. Now, what I recommend doing after that happens is you would just take your knife, and it's kind of like a mold line, and you would just go across the entire crevice where glue is actually sitting, just to smooth it out. So that way when you prime the actual model itself, it looks flush, almost like you green stuffed it with glue. And then the same thing on this side. Now when it's all done, all you're going to do, of course, is start with the next piece. And the next direction says, step 3 would be to actually put this right here, right on his neck. And then, of course, step 4, his head. And then step 5, his leg, and his other leg. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm just going to speed through this, and I'm going to finish trimming up everything, and finish gluing up everything, and finish cleaning everything up, and just keep repeating this process until it's completely put together. All right, so after fast forwarding in time and cleaning the whole model, getting rid of mold lines and putting them together, I also decided to go as far as putting his weapon together and actually removing the axe by cutting off the bottom, the shaft, and the top, and replacing it with a candy cane. Now I still have a little bit more work in order to, fill in the gaps and maybe trim up a little bit and clean up the model just a little bit more. I also am going to show you guys how I'm going to make the Santa hat that goes on top of his head using green stuff. But again, I made sure that I didn't use plastic glue when gluing him to his base so he can pop off and you can change the way the base looks. So without further ado, let me show you how to do the green stuff for the Santa hat. Alright, so when you work with green stuff, of course you need green stuff. You need the model you want to work with. You need some paper towel and a cup of water. Now the water is to make sure that the green stuff doesn't stick on your fingers and also doesn't show a lot of your fingerprints. Now some things that are also useful are the have actually tools to work with. And today I'm actually going to use this sharp pointing tool the most to poke holes in the green stuff to make it look like it's actually cotton around his actual Santa hat and of course the ball. And I'll show you, it's just very, very simple. You just got to be very detailed and very careful. So the way we're going to do is we're going to take, some clippers, and we're literally just going to clip just a little bit of green stuff. You don't really need a lot, and this is probably way too much anyways, but, I just want to give you guys an idea. So just take a little bit of this green stuff, take it out, remove it, take the plastic off the actual green stuff itself, put it this side, boom, boom, and then, so I sometimes just dip it in the water and just, literally work with it. Just start squishing it together. Just keep squishing until the blue and the yellow really mix together to make that green. Grab a little bit more water and just keep going. Really, sometimes I'll just watch a TV show or something like this because this is one of those things where you just keep going and going and going. Alright, so after working with this green stuff, it is green and it is ready to start molding into the shapes I want. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically make a small ball and I'm going to break this ball in half. Half of it is going to be the actual cone of the hat. The other half is going to be the ring around the cone and the little ball that goes at the end. So what I'm first going to do is just kind of work with my fingers, make sure I get a lot of water and literally just start making it to a cone. And it's okay if you mess up, what's the worst thing you do? Start over or take it off of his head? You just don't want to glue it down just yet until you're really happy with the shape that you have. Some people like to have a really fat base and really pointy top. It just really depends on whatever you want. And you notice what I'm doing, just keeping it flat on my one finger and just rolling it, slowly until, literally it's a point. Alright, so I finished putting the top on. And I still have to put, of course, the ring that goes around and, of course, the ball there. And I want to let it to be able to dry so that way if there's any type of fingerprints or anything of that nature, I can, either gloss over it with a high shine and remove it, or I can actually trim it down just to remove it. But again, it's very, very simple to create a Santa hat, and this is the first step. Alright, now it's starting to come together. As you can tell, we put the small ring around the actual Santa hat. And now we're going to use our sharp tool to poke little holes to make it look like cotton. Alright, so here's some more progress with the actual hat itself. As you notice, there are small little dimples in the actual rim itself, signifying a little bit of cotton. Now on the back side, the back ball, of course, it's going to be another cotton ball. So we're going to repeat the same process just with the ball itself. So here we go. Here's the Santa hat right there. You have, of course, the point, the ball, and the rim. You have the candy cane itself. You have the model with all the mold lines removed. We do have to do a little bit of cleaning up right where the hands are to make sure it looks more seamless. And of course, we have to do the base. Now, later on in this video, you're going to see the finished product. And of course, we're going to prime it. Now, after it's all primed, I'm going to have another fellow Dorkdom gamer come in and show you a painting tutorial on this actual model. And of course, he's going to show you all the tools you'll need to, start painting. And he'll show you what he's going to do to actually paint the model itself. All right, here he is, the Slaughterpriest Christmified. And again, we removed all the mold lines. We really trimmed up this model. We actually made sure we removed all the debris where his hands, where the candy cane went drilled through. We actually even did some scraping to remove some of the fingerprints that were left over in the green stuff in the actual Santa hat itself. And again, the next video we're going to put together is my fellow Dorkdom gamer is going to do a painting tutorial on this model. So again, stay tuned, and if you like this video and you want to see more, building and customizing, please like and subscribe and leave a comment below. And again, thank you so much for watching these videos. Have a good one.